I was on here, I believe, was it yesterday or the day before yesterday? I can't remember. I think it was the other day. But anyway, in this video, I'm going to talk to you about stop letting your height stop you. Don't let your height stop you. Don't let your height stop you. It's funny because there's a lot of guys who they get so tripped up on their height. They think they're short. They think a woman that is taller than them is the best gift ever. Or sometimes the woman is the same height and they still feel that they're short because they're the same height as the woman, which doesn't make any sense. But I want to tell you, if you are the guy out there that you feel that you're too short and you don't want to talk to a woman or you don't want to approach a woman because of your height, let me tell you something. That is some bullshit. That's some bullshit because there's so many guys out there that are shorter than the average height. These guys are 5'5", 5'6", 5'7", 5'8". I mean, the average height is 5'9", but for some strange reason, you've been taught to believe that if you're not 6 foot and over, that you're short. And I'm gonna tell you where it comes from, depending on who you are. A lot of that comes from social media because you have a lot of videos on social media, specifically YouTube, and a lot of women are saying that they don't like guys because they're short or they're shorter than them. And the odd thing is, you usually hear that from women that are the same height as the men that they say that are short, which is very funny. And it's ridiculous because here's the thing. If a guy is the same height as you with heels on and you take your heels off and you're shorter than him, he's not short. He's not. But the reason why, I want you to understand that the reason why women say that stuff is because they see it on social media and they hear other women say like, oh, this guy's short. And they don't want to be with a short guy because they assume that, okay, if this guy's the same height as me or he's shorter than a tall guy, then he's not good enough. He's not manly enough or whatever they conjure up and say. But the thing you got to understand is a lot of that, like I said, it's all social media. It's all social media. There's this show called Pop the Balloon and Find Love, right? And you have these contestants. They have these women lined up. These guys come out. And you have these women pop the balloon on these guys that are the same height as the women while the women are wearing high heels. Let that sink in. And I think it's funny because the thing that they don't understand is that most guys are 5'9". Well, the average height of men are 5'9". So when they see like, oh, this guy is short, it's like, you don't even know how to measure height in the first place. You assume that the guy is short because he's shorter than the guy that you assume should be tall. Or let me rephrase that. They may be used to tall guys that are taller, right? And the thing is, if they compare you to the other guys, that's what they're doing. They're comparing you. So why would you even care? But I'm trying not to go off track. But the point I'm trying to make is a lot of women, they say that because they don't really mean it necessarily. They hear other women say it and they feel, okay, if he's not taller than me, regardless if I have high heels on or not, then he's a short guy. Not knowing that the average height, like I said, is 5'9", right? And here's the interesting thing. The interesting thing is it doesn't matter how tall you are. I'm telling you, it does not matter how tall you are. I'm 5'7". I've dated women that are way tall, like without high heels on, that are taller than me in middle school, high school, and when I became an adult. There was never an issue. The only time this height thing became an issue, like I said, is with social media because women try to compare you to other men or they try to really emasculate you. So if a woman says like, oh, you're short, it's like, compared to who? And why are you comparing me to another man? That's one thing that you got to think about. And the other thing is, here's the thing I want you to really, really understand and get this through your mind. If a woman is tripping because of your height, then honestly, that's superficial. Especially if you're the same height as her, or she's actually shorter than you, which is, I never understood that. How can you tell somebody that they're short when they're actually taller than you? It doesn't make any sense. It's delusions. But here's the thing, right? You should not give a damn about what a woman thinks about you. You shouldn't care about your height, your size. It does not matter, because here's the thing. Don't assume just because one or two women say something about the height means that means that all the other women think the same way. You have to understand that. And the other thing is, when I was growing up, man, height was not like that was not an issue. Height was never an issue. It was like girls would say, okay, that tall guy, or that dude's super tall. They never said that short guy, that guy is super short. They never said that shit. But social media has fooled you and tricked you to think that if you're not a certain height, then you're not good enough for a woman. That's what society and social media has tricked you guys to think, and it's not true. It's not true. There's a lot of short guys I know that, you know, they picking up women. One of my boys, man, he was 5'5". I'm 5'7". One of my boys, 5'5", picking up bad women. I'm talking about models. I'm not even exaggerating, you know. And they were taller than him. They were not 5'5". They were not 5'6", not 5'7". They were 5'9" and up. I'm dead serious. But it's the confidence. It's how do you wear your height? Do you get intimidated because a woman's taller than you? Do you put yourself in that box, in that category, and let a woman talk down to you and say, oh, well, you're not tall enough, so, you know, you're not something I'm looking for? Are you going to take your ball and go home and feel bad about it and say, like, yeah, man, I just wish I was taller, and I wish I was a baller. I wish I had a girl who looked good, I would call her. If you know that song, you know what I'm talking about. But height does not matter. It only matters if the chick, it's a preference. I get it. A woman may have a preference, and she's entitled to her preference. But when it comes to the height, that's just who you are. You can't change it. That's who you are. And to the female, this is the mentality that you have to have. I'm telling you, this is the mentality that you have to have. You have to have the mentality that you do not give a fuck what the woman thinks. Okay? You can't think or care about what the woman thinks because, one, you don't really know what she thinks. And two, it doesn't matter because you are you. You can't change your height. You can't change who you are. You can't change your height. And if she doesn't want who you are, then it doesn't make sense trying to do everything to get her attention or to get her respect or to get her time, because that's who you are. Wouldn't you? Let me ask you this. Doesn't it make more sense to only focus on women that actually like you for who you are? They don't care about your height. Now, some of you guys, you may want a taller woman, or you don't care about that. Maybe you are 5'5", like my boy I was saying, right? Maybe you are 5'5", and a lot of women, they're the same height as you, and you're like, okay, I know she's gonna say I'm too short because the last girl I tried to talk to, or the last woman I tried to talk to, she said I was too short. But here's the thing. You are still giving your power away whenever you care about what a woman thinks about you, because that's who you are. You get what I'm saying? It's like this. It's like this. I know that I like a certain type of car, right? I like a certain type of car, and other people may not like the car that I like, right? But I don't give a damn because that's the car that I like. Because I genuinely like that type of car. So it doesn't matter if somebody says, like, well, I don't like those type of cars, I like this one. Hey, good on you. That's the mentality that you have to have, because the moment that you start worrying about how tall you are or how short you are or you're not good enough, the moment that you start thinking about that is the moment that you lose, but also the moment that you give your power away to the woman, because you're going to start doing and saying things that really lose attraction. And you don't see it. The woman sees it. You don't see it, but the woman sees it. Okay, I told this guy that he was short. Now I see he's trying to buy my respect. He's trying to take me out on dates. He's trying to take me to dinners. He's trying to do this and that. He's trying to buy me gifts. He's trying to make everything right so I will approve of him. But you got to approve of yourself. You have to approve of yourself, man. Because when you have that attitude that you don't give a fuck about your height, you don't give a fuck about what a woman thinks about you. When you have that attitude, you will attract women that actually care. You will attract women that actually care. So here's the thing. Listen up. I want you to understand this. The moment you start trying to change who you are, you try to do, I think this dude did knee extensions or some shit like that, or you try to put some heights in your shoes or whatever. The moment you start trying to change who you are to appease to a woman or to get a woman's approval, the moment you start doing that, you only are going to attract the bottom feeders. You're only going to attract the bottom feeders, the lowest of the totem pole. You're only going to attract those type of women when you try to change who you are to appease the woman and get her respect. But the moment that you be yourself and you say, hey, look, this is who I am, you get what you see, and this is what it is, and you have that attitude. You don't have to be disrespectful, but that's the attitude that you have to have. When you have that attitude, it doesn't matter. And you're going to attract the type of woman that, okay, I like his attitude. He's confident. Okay, he's shorter than me, but he's actually confident, because this other guy, I said I don't like short dudes, and he started acting all funny. He started being really insecure and getting sensitive and doing this and doing that. But when you have the attitude and the mentality that, like, hey, this is what I am, this is what you get. When you have that mentality, she can't do nothing but respect you. And here's the thing, maybe she really doesn't like you because of your height, but she said, hey, she may have a girl that says, hey, I know this guy, he's very confident, you like short dudes, and you should go talk to him. He's very confident. So you never know. When you have confidence and you be yourself and you don't care about what the outside world thinks, man or woman, when you have that mentality, you attract the right type of people. I know it sounds counterintuitive. You're like, okay, if I act like I don't care, or if I really genuinely don't care, how can I attract somebody that likes me for me? And how can I attract someone or a woman that really respects me? How is that possible? It's possible because they know that internally you are good with yourself. That's why I always say, like, hey, you need to get to know yourself. You need to respect yourself. You need to love yourself. Because when you do those things, guess what? You don't look for anything external for validation. And women pick up on that. They pick up on that this guy doesn't look for external validation. This is who he is. I have no choice but to respect that. And women respect that. Women respect that. And that's something that you have to really understand. But you got to stop tripping about what you have and don't have. And you got to stop tripping about something you can't change, which is your height. If you can't change your height, do you really think that's something that you should worry about? And the last thing I'll say is, why would you feel less than for something that you can't change for a woman that doesn't want you for who you are? She already doesn't want you for who you are, so why even bother trying to change and be something that you're not? Why stress about it? Except the things you can't change. But it's not, I don't know if that's a super huge fear that you guys have, that you feel that you're short, you're not tall enough for a woman. But I wanted to address that because I thought it was interesting, because a lot of guys that are short, quote unquote, a lot of guys get turned down by women and just get with the woman that doesn't care about all that superficial shit. Some women, hey, and I'm gonna tell you a secret. Some women like shorter men. I'm not going to go into detail about it, but I would just say some taller women like shorter men. That's all I'm going to say. But other than that, let me see what we got in the chat. Hi, I'm playing on Nintendo Switch. That's what's up. Ku Klux Karen. SGS, what is it? WSG, bro. I don't know what that means, but yeah, but other than that, I'm a little under the weather. So I just want to hop on here and do a quick live video, see what's up with my people, and just share my thoughts on that. You know, don't ever let. Oh, what's good? Yeah, what's good? All right, I got you. But yeah, don't ever let your height, your looks, don't anything that you can't change, man. Especially your height. You could change you could lose weight, gain weight. You know, you can do all this other stuff. But when it comes to height, hey, that's the last thing of your concern. And I'm telling you, there's a lot of short guys that have confidence to get women regardless of how tall or short the woman is. So just wanted to leave you guys with that. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. I do lives weekly and I go over different things that a lot of younger guys want to know, need to know, so they can have better relationships in the future, because the detriment is a lot of young guys rush into relationships. They're only focused on the pussy, the sex, the looks. They get into a relationship, they start getting disrespected. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to control their emotions, and they're trying to figure out, how did I get stuck here? Now they're frustrated. So my thing is helping you out before you even get into the relationship and before you move further on. But other than that, go ahead and give this a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe, share this with a friend, and I will talk to you later. Have a good one. You can get surgery. There's no point. There's no point in getting surgery. Why would you get a surgery? That's basically saying I'm not good enough and secure with myself, and I don't have a lot of self-love, that I have to do something to make me taller to appease to a woman that may not even give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? It's pointless. That's external. That's I'm not gonna go into it, but on the next video I might go deep into it. I may make a video on that. But yeah, that like, just be yourself. If a woman doesn't like you for you, she doesn't like you in the first place at all. So why would you even try to do something that will make her, you think it'll make her like you, but why would you put yourself in that situation when she already doesn't like you for you? That's basically putting her above you, putting her on a pedestal, and basically calling her your God, because you don't feel good enough for who you are. So you have to change who you are so you can appease to her, impress her, and get her respect, which you will never get. So understand that, guys. Fuck the surgeries. But I appreciate the comment. But I will talk to you later. Make sure you subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and I'm out.